Hello and welcome to Asset Television News. I am Emanuela Acquire. First, the headlines. Federal government accuses mining company of campaign against Tinubu in UK. Local governments, states and federal governments share 1.8 trillion naira in February. Commuters, motorists lament continuous petrol price increase. The federal government has alleged that an embattled mining company, Jupiter Limited, is planning what it described as a campaign of calumny against Nigeria during the planned state visit of President Bola Tinubu to the United Kingdom. The Ministry of Solid Minerals Development said the alleged move was aimed at discrediting ongoing reforms in the mining sector and misleading the international community about the circumstances surrounding the revocation of certain mineral licenses.
In a statement signed by the Federal Ministry of Solid Minerals Development, said it had uncovered moves by the company to allegedly discredit Nigeria and its mining regulatory framework during the high-profile diplomatic engagement. According to the ministry, the alleged smear effort appears designed to undermine the country's reputation and cast doubts on the reforms being implemented in Nigeria's solid minerals sector. Officials maintain that the government remains committed to strengthening transparency, enforcing mining regulations, and protecting legitimate investors operating within the country. The ministry further warned that attempts by any individual or corporate entity to spread misinformation or tarnish Nigeria's image on the international stage will be firmly resisted. President Tinubu is expected to visit the United Kingdom as part of ongoing diplomatic and economic engagements aimed at attracting foreign investment and strengthening bilateral ties. Mania, OCB.
A total sum of 1.894 trillion naira, being February 2026 Federation Accounts revenue, has been shared to the federal government, states and local government councils. The revenue was shared at the March 2026 Federation Accounts Allocation Committee meeting held in Abuja. According to a statement by Bawa Mokwa, Director of Press and Public Relations at the weekend, the 1.894 trillion naira total distributable revenue comprised distributable stationery revenue of 1.274 trillion naira, distributable value-added tax revenue of 619.119 billion naira. A communique issued by the Federation Accounts Allocation Committee indicated that the total gross revenue of 2.230 trillion naira was available in the month of February 2026. Total deduction for cost of collection was 77.302 billion naira, while total transfers, refunds and savings was 259.78 billion naira. According to the communique, gross stationery revenue of 1.561 trillion naira was received for the month of February 2026. This was lower than the sum of 1.957 trillion naira received in the preceding month by 395.138 billion naira. Gross revenue of 668.450 billion naira was available from the value-added tax in February 2026. This was lower than the 1.83 trillion naira available in the month of January 2026 by 414.710 billion naira. The communique stated that from the 1.894 trillion naira total distributable revenue, the federal government received a total sum of 675.88 billion naira, and the state government received a total sum of 651.525 billion naira. The local government council received 456.467 billion naira, while the sum of 110.949 billion naira, 13% of mineral revenue, was shared to the benefiting states as derivation revenue. The Nigerian Customs Service last week honored retiring Deputy Comptroller General of Customs Dera Nnadi and Assistant Comptroller General of Customs Kingsley Ego at a polling out parade celebrating their decades of service to the nation. The ceremony held at the Nigerian Customs Command and Staff College in Gwagwalada brought together members of the Customs Management Team, senior officers, colleagues and well-wishers. Speaking at the event, the Controller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi, said the occasion provided an opportunity for the service to recognize the professional contributions and dedication of the retiring officers. Represented by the Deputy Comptroller General of Customs in charge of Training and Doctrine Command, Suleiman Chairoma, the CGC noted that careers in the service are defined not only by the ranks attained, but also by the values officers uphold and the impact they make on the institution. The CGC described DCG Nnamdi as a seasoned officer who served in several strategic commands where the responsibilities of revenue generation, trade facilitation, and border security intersect. According to him, Nnamdi's years in service were marked by professionalism and a strong sense of duty, adding that he also contributed to policy discussions on customs modernization and Nigeria's participation in continental trade initiatives. CGC Adeniyi also commended ACG Egu for his role in advancing reforms that strengthen customs administration, particularly through the adoption of technology aimed at improving transparency and operational efficiency. Motorists and commuters across Lagos are facing rising transportation costs following another increase in the pump price of petrol, which now sells between 1,250 naira and 1,350 naira per litre at filling stations. A survey on Sunday showed growing concern among road users as the increase, driven largely by global supply pressures and domestic price adjustments, continues to influence transportation expenses. The latest increase follows another upward review of petrol prices by the Dangote Petroleum Refinery, which raised the gantry price of premium motor spirits, commonly known as petrol, to 1,175 naira per litre from 995 naira earlier in the week. The adjustment represents an increase of 180 naira, about 18.1% within 3 days, marking the refinery's third price review within the week and prompting swift adjustments across the downstream market. Last week we brought reactions from some Nigerians on the streets of Abuja, and here's what they said.
Since time immemorial, the immediate effect of hike in prices of petroleum products in Nigeria has been on transportation fares, which usually trickles down to goods and other services. Just as oil prices in the international market took a twist owing to the ongoing hostilities in the Middle East, Nigerians are again facing the challenge of increase in transportation fares.
Okay, let me give you an example. Keke that run from AY to Kuruduma that collect 300 naira before. I went to Kuruduma yesterday today. They collect 500 naira now. And there's no any other alternative means to Kuruduma except Keke.
We normally pay transportation 500 naira, but now it's 1,000 naira, which from checkpoint to secretariat.
While some commercial vehicle operators claim they maintained old fares considering the areas of coverage, others decry lack of patronage of prospective passengers, some of whom have resorted to trekking where possible.
My normal is up to normal price 300.
You've not changed since
I don't change it.
Oh, that's nice.
Mine is just 300 from here to Paris. 300.
Only 100 naira. Even the passenger, it's very difficult for the passenger to pay. We are finding it difficult for them to pay. Even with the I don't know, and they are aware that the fuel increase.
On seeking the ways out of the situation, the respondents suggest that the government should take the reactivation of local refineries seriously in order to improve supply and cushion effects of an unfavorable international oil market.
If the 3 refineries are working, plus Dangote that can service African country or West African country, put it at that, do we buy BSU, burning like crude oil? We don't buy. So how would it affect us?
Why we call on other private investors? What is the federal government doing?
What is the Nigerian refineries doing? They are all down. So if the government is serious, they can actually work on our refineries, and these cases will not occur and will not reoccur.
While the situation persists, they also urge the federal government to remain focused on taking timely steps for the well-being of citizens. Nemeka Ihenacho for Asset Television News.
Asset TV will be back after the short break. Stay tuned.
Mom, 20,000 naira for that video game I told you about.
20,000?
Yeah.
Didn't your dad just give you money?
Yeah, but I need more for this new release.
My hands are busy. Go ahead, send it yourself. 20,000, okay?
Facial verification.
This boy.
With OPay's large transaction shield, your face is the only access. OPay, beyond banking.
Welcome back from the break. Siyama Idris, an 8-year-old girl, has died after she accidentally fell onto an exposed iron rod at an ongoing road and drainage construction site at Tuduwada quarters of Nasarawa local government area of Kano State.
An eyewitness, Abdulrashid Yusuf, told newsmen that the incident occurred on Saturday evening around Tudunwada Primary School in the area, as construction and expansion work is ongoing on the road, including the construction of drainage channels. Yusuf said the girl was sent to a nearby provision shop to buy something for iftar when the tragedy occurred. According to him, the drainage under construction had exposed iron rods and there was no proper pedestrian crossing, forcing residents to use a makeshift wooden plank bridge. He explains that while attempting to cross nearby the construction area, the girl accidentally fell onto an exposed iron rod used for the drainage construction. Residents in the area blamed what they described as poor safety precautions at construction sites, noting that uncovered iron rods and open drainage edges pose serious danger to pedestrians, especially children. Reports say that leaving exposed metals and other hazards at ongoing drainage construction sites have increasingly become a disturbing trend in Kano, raising concerns about public safety. This development comes barely days after another incident on Friday in which a teenage boy, Ibrahim Umar, believed to be about 15 years old, fell into a drainage along Badarawa Road off Lamido Crescent after Jumat prayers. Umar sustained injuries and had to break his fast as he was taken to a nearby clinic to receive treatment. Residents are calling on relevant authorities and constructions handling road and drainage projects to ensure proper safety measures, including covering exposed metal and providing safe crossings to prevent further tragedies. Mania OCAB. An eyewitness, Abdulrashid.
The Jordan Football Association has announced a new venue for the Four Nation Invitational Tournament. The Jordan Football Association has announced a new venue for the Four Nation Invitational Tournament involving the Super Eagles of Nigeria, Iran and Costa Rica. The tournament was initially scheduled to be held in Amman, the capital of Jordan. Antalya, Turkey will now host the competition, which will help the hosts Jordan and Iran prepare for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The Super Eagles will face Iran in their first game on Friday, 27th March. Jordan and Costa Rica will also meet on the same day. Eric Chell's sides will confront host Jordan in their second game on Tuesday, 31st March. Iran will also keep a date with Costa Rica on the same day. The Nigerian Railway Corporation has confirmed the derailment of an Abuja-bound train on Monday, March 16. The incident, which occurred at about 10 a.m. within the Asham station on the corridor, involved the rear locomotive and a passenger coach. In a statement issued by the corporation and signed by its managing director, Kayode Opeifa, it pointed out that there were no fatalities recorded in the incident, though some passengers sustained various degrees of injuries and had been treated at nearby healthcare facilities. Opeifa added that all emergency response protocols were immediately activated with the Accident Investigation Bureau already on ground to ascertain the possible cause of the accident. Monday's incident brings to mind the September 2025 derailment of more than 7 coaches and a locomotive within the Asham station, which crippled operations on the corridor for nearly 4 weeks. That is the size of our package at this hour. Do well to follow us on all our social media handles for more news updates. On behalf of the news crew, I'm Emanuela Akwaya.